get soda. Remy boys that know us. Fast money don't slow us. No one can control.
Alright, what's going on, guys? BT 1031, right back at you. And I'm here today with Batvader 01.
What's up? Today we are obviously
doing the second episode of BT Talks. You know, the first one was done about a month ago, and I was specifically talking about Money in the Bank. Except this one will talk about multiple other things and basically anything that's on our mind.
This is basically just a podcast now. I mean, it's grown into so much more than what it originally was. Let's get started.
Okay, first thing I want to talk about is well, since this is the only thing I mostly do, let's talk about wrestling.
Alright.
Raw this week. You see, SummerSlam is coming up. And so, alright, sorry, we had to go do something right quick. On Raw this week, we're building up towards SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
So, Roman Reigns beat Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre, while Bobby Lashley beat Seth Rollins and Elias. And so Roman Reigns beats Bobby Lashley, meaning Roman...
Which makes no sense.
Even though Bobby Lashley already beat him. So they're technically even. Which means Roman Reigns fights Brock Lesnar for the 4th time at a major pay-per-view for the world title.
I honestly couldn't care less. I honestly just don't like Brock Lesnar in general. So that one I'm rooting for Roman going into SummerSlam. I really couldn't care less.
And let me see what else happened. Kevin Owens, he got tired of being killed.
Yep.
He was killed how many times was he killed? He was killed at Money in the Bank.
Yep.
He was killed in his car got killed, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's 2, I guess. Then he was killed in that bathroom.
Then they said he had a bowling ball under his stomach.
He got killed in he got thrown off the cage, and then after he got tired of being killed, then he came up with a deal with Stephanie McMahon, and then they decided to give him a match, and if he wins against Braun at SummerSlam, then he wins the Money in the Bank title briefcase holding thing. Except obviously Braun's gonna kill Kevin for like the 5th time. And then, let me see some other matches. Seth is using another rematch clause and is gonna fight Dolph Ziggler. Except this could change, so this is only a thing that will happen so far. And then, let me see. I think, the B team might use their rematch clause again. And then, let me see. They could fight the Raw Tag Team Champions again, or maybe it could be AOP or some other tag team on Raw. Like the Revival? Dang. That's my favorite tag team in WWE right now, and they're not even doing anything. And then on the SmackDown side, or on the better side, there's AJ finally going up against Samoa Joe.
Yep.
There's Carmella going up against Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
There's a tag team tournament where the Bar and the Usos are going to fight next week, and whoever wins that will fight the New Day, and whoever wins that will go against the Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay, so first, before we carry on talking anything else about SummerSlam, I just want to talk about Asuka and her position on what she's doing right now. I mean, it's honestly just disgusting to me. I mean, she's won, like 260-something matches, and then she lost at WrestleMania to Charlotte, which is understandable. And then she goes and loses at Money in the Bank for whatever reason, because Ellsworth came back. That's not really much of a followable storyline. I think they should have came back some other time. But and then after that, she loses with James Ellsworth suspended above the ring at the
Extreme Rules.
How do I forget the name? but it's honestly just weird to me. I mean, how does Asuka go from Goldberg times 2 to Kurt Hawkins? I don't get it.
And let me see, what other matches were there? There could be a triple threat for the U.S. title where it's Jeff Hardy, who still needs a clean match against Shinsuke, seeing as how Randy Orton interrupted that. Randy Orton still wants to beat up Jeff Hardy because I think it's because he beat him in May. And that Shinsuke still needs to defend his title, so I guess it'll be a triple threat for the U.S. title. And then as far as rivalries go along, I guess Rusev will face Aiden English, which is something I don't want to see, but I guess it could lead to something. Or Rusev and Aiden English and Lana could face Almas. Or maybe just Rusev and Lana face Almas and Zelina Vega. And other than that, one other thing I want to talk about is the all-women's pay-per-view that's going to be in October.
Yeah.
Where it's going to feature over 50 women superstars, legends, now superstars, and NXT superstars. The finals of the Mae Young Classic. And a few other things.
And just real quick, when she said that it's like over 50 women superstars, I honestly thought that they were going to have a women's greatest Royal Rumble. Yeah, that's just my thinking. It's just my thought process.
But to be honest, it's something that should have happened a long while ago. Yeah. No, considering they have other wrestling companies like TNA that have been taking their women wrestlers or knockouts seriously for a while. And then I also heard like a few matches that could happen, like Trish and Lita versus Sasha and Bayley, or Lita versus Bayley, or Trish versus Sasha. Or actually, one thing that is most likely to happen, Trish Stratus versus Mickie James.
Oh, okay.
And I told you this earlier. We've been having this discussion for a few weeks how UFC and MMA go into WWE and wrestling.
And it honestly just makes me mad. Sorry if I interrupted you in any way, but
no, not really.
Being a huge UFC fan, as much as I am, after seeing Cormier win, and then he calls out Brock, which is one thing, because Brock said he was going to be there and call out the winner, which is understandable, because he wanted to come back to UFC for quite a while. But then, after that, a bunch of UFC fighters go over to the Performance Center, like Travis Brown, the rest of the horsewomen of MMA. It honestly just grinds my gears.
Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, Cain Velasquez. It honestly just grinds my gears. I'm sorry to say that, but it just makes me mad that they're crossing over. Like,
it's scripted.
It'll just be entertainment at that point. And UFC becoming sports entertainment is, like WWE is honestly the last thing that I would ever want to see.
Yeah.
Like,
could you imagine PG UFC?
Exactly. Like,
PG blood. No blood.
Exactly. I mean,
don't hit him too hard.
Yeah, but congrats to Daniel Cormier, and
hope he beats Brock Lesnar. Hope he whoops him hard. No, for over a year of suffering.
And after that, I noticed that a lot of WWE fans, also being a huge WWE fan as well, I noticed, see, it's just weird to me, like, whenever I see any wrestling fans talk about UFC in a weird way, I don't know, there's just something about it that makes me cringe, honestly. I honestly just don't get it, like, and now that Brock's going over there, wrestling fans are probably only gonna watch that fight just to see Brock get whooped. And, yeah, it's honestly just mayhem to me at this point. What you doing on Instagram?
And, let me see, one last thing before we move on to something else besides wrestling. WWE 2K19. it's supposed to be like a WWE 2K18, except bigger and better. Same way 2K17 was to 2K16 and 15 and 14, and WWE 11, 12. You get the point.
2K18 was.
And it's supposed to have like the biggest roster of men and women and tag teams.
That's what they say every year. It grows every year. I don't get it.
And this year in particular, they have the 2K Showcase back. Except this time you do Daniel Bryan and DLC for Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And then you can, I think they'll most likely have the My Career, the Universe. I'm urging them to have the GM mode, but that's what they said last year, and presumably the year before that. So we're most likely never going to see GM mode see the light of day again. I remember I showed you this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I made this fake tweet thing where I went under 2K. I made it look like 2K sent a tweet where let me see if I can pull it up on my phone.
And this, by the way, it honestly just made me mad. I saw the border, but I didn't realize that it was fake at first until I saw that they didn't capitalize WWE.
So this is a tweet. This is the fake tweet I did. I might edit it in later, but if I don't, just understand that I couldn't. So I wrote, just so it's out there, hashtag WWE 2K19 will not include GM mode, 2K Showcase mode, or certain match types such as special referee mode, Punjabi prison, intergender or mixed tag matches, and the I Quit match. Us developers at the 2K company think this is for the best and like to keep it simple. No, I could really see them saying that though.
Exactly, but honestly, I feel like the greater public of wrestling fans would honestly just get very mad at that. So, and as I did, I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" I honestly just got very mad. I honestly almost cried, and then he said it's fake, and I was like, Jesus Christ!" Playing with my emotions.
And that's enough for wrestling. Let's talk about let's talk about our channels.
Alright, so obviously, let's get started to where. So last year, I remember you reacted to a lot of my videos, right?
Yes.
And
like 3 or 4 tops.
yeah. And then he rightfully cringed at my videos, which is understandable. I mean, you should. But, like, after that, I took it way too literally, to where I reacted to his videos after that. Had a good laugh. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But then, in that video, I said I might drop a diss track on this dude. And then, surprise, surprise, my next video was a diss track on him.
And 6 or 7 months later, 4 weeks ago in real time, I actually did react to it.
So what was your honest opinion on it?
No, really, kind of it was kind of cheesy.
I know.
Not cringy, but it's kind of cheesy.
No,
but
you can say that it's cringe, because it's cringy in some aspects.
Not exactly. It's your first rap song. You're not like KSI or Dashie who does it for money on the daily. But it was pretty good actually. And I'm still trying to come up with some kind of diss track to respond to that. I know it seems kind of weird because we technically be breaking the fourth wall. It's like if KSI went out and then looked at Logan Paul and then started having a joke and a laugh with him backstage after one of their press conferences.
Yeah, but so could you give us like a sample of that diss track, or like the instrumental or something like that?
Well, I've been looking around for a couple instrumentals. I've been thinking about using some of the same people who made your outro. I've been looking to find out if I could do that, or if I could just find an instrumental from something else.
All right. how you been going with the lyrics?
I haven't really been doing much with it. Mainly because I'm and get lazy with some things.
I mean, I remember I made the lyrics in like a day and a half, I think. It wasn't actually that hard. And to be completely honest, I use rhymezone.com for some of them. So, yeah. My song isn't all that good, but it's better than nothing.
And, while we're talking about our channels, let's just... First of all, our channels are... From the beginning, we start out, like, very, very cringy. I start out with... My first video, Watch Dogs, I go all like, what's up everybody, BT1031 here, and I'm playing Watch Dogs, and then we go through the thing. I remember having to do like heavy edits just to shorten up the video and do it, and I never actually continued on the Watch Dogs series afterwards.
You should.
I remember reacting.
Watch Dogs videos.
I remember going to the end, right? And then when you meet everybody, you meet what's her face, whoever her name is,
And then you.
and she's the leader. And then you meet this nerd kid. You meet this weird cyberpunk guy.
And
Then you meet this other black guy.
Horatio. I only remember his name for some reason.
And then
And then you.
I don't know why I said this, but I watched it back.
You said, well.
But about time we have at least one brother in a group full of crackers. That's
You said not to be racist, but.
yeah, that's very racist. That's too racist. I remember I continue to make those type of typos in videos to this day. I remember doing you were gone. I think you got a haircut or something like that.
Yeah.
I made a video doing the virtual reality London heist.
Yeah.
And there was this one part, like after the prologue, you sit in this bar smoking. I meant to edit it in. I do not condone smoking, but I ended up condoning. I don't not condone smoking. In fact, I edited it in for you guys now. Okay, and one other thing, I remember editing in this some kind of transition thing, but the transition thing didn't go well, and that was for a Batman VR video. And one other thing I noticed, whenever we do collab videos, and then we each upload them to each other's channels. I know you upload more of them than I do, but
Mine gets more views than yours.
exactly. Let me see right now.
Yeah. Obviously, you have more subscribers than me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's another weird thing.
I don't know why. I mean, I used to have like 17, and you had like 16 or 15 or 14, something like that. And then I stopped uploading for a while, and most of my friends unsubscribed from me. And then
let me see. BT versus Batvader 01 and Justice 2. Let's go into your channel, because I know yours is
I uploaded mine a while after you did.
Let me see.
Down.
Is it there? Oh yeah, 14 views. Bad example. But still, it can be on and off. It can be like a mix of me getting more views on a video and then him getting more views. And then my most viewed video is this crazy video. I do this 2K17 video where it's universe mode, except the universe mode is different because everything is a bit scripted. And everything is supposed to be scripted. I even wrote down an entire script and everything. And except I play by the game's boundaries. And I did this crazy thing where Bailey turned heel on Sasha, and then started having a rivalry, and Alexa Bliss was her groupie, I think. Brock Lesnar competed on Raw often and fought CM Punk. And then there was this thing where Roman Reigns had a beef with The Undertaker because this actually took place in real time, like after he retired him. And so then after he retires The Undertaker becomes general manager of Raw instead of Kurt Angle. And then Roman Reigns gets the Shield back together. And so I named the video Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta Extreme. And then Undertaker gets real pissed at Roman Reigns, and then
Wait, hold up. Tell them the reasoning behind why you said extreme.
let me see. See, back then it's about late July, early August. I was kind of new to wrestling. I had started getting into wrestling in March, but because I play the older video games like not SmackDown vs. Raw, but WWE 2K15, and that was all I played until you got me 2K17 in June.
Yeah.
But we never really watched WWE. We watched the pay-per-views, and then we watched the clips on Raw until like late July. And then some of the stuff was still kind of new to me. So I see the Trouble in Paradise, or like the running heel kick. And then he runs up at him, and then the way he swings it across his face, I guess it looked crazy in my eyes. So I say
it was like the biggest move ever.
So I look at it and go, whoa, Trouble in Paradise across the face, extreme. And so after doing that, Big E does his finisher. And then I didn't know it was called the Big Ending. I didn't know that CM Punk's finisher was the GTS or anything like that. So I say, whoa, what's going on? Oh, Big E with that. Oh, the horse face Big E man with that big slam. And then I do one where the Undertaker gets pissed at Roman Reigns. So he sends out, get this, Big Show, Brock Lesnar, and here's the shocker, Bo Dallas. Roman Reigns basically gets the short end of the stick. Well, Seth Rollins has to fight Big Show, and Dean Ambrose has to fight Brock Lesnar. And then the video ends where, let me think, the video ends where I have Roman Reigns defeat Bo Dallas, and it's building up to like another clash between The Undertaker and Roman Reigns, or everybody in the Shield versus The Undertaker's team. Or heck, they could even carried on to Survivor Series or something. But it never actually continued because I don't know. I had these weird moments where I feel like, is it really worth it doing what I do on my channel? Like sometimes I don't really feel like uploading because I don't feel a point. Because sometimes people won't want to watch my videos, and I can tell because they have low views. And sometimes people do.
He actually made a video on that he deleted like a year ago, but it was of him going insane for some reason for views. because he wanted views or something like that. And then I remember sometimes you told me that you had wanted to delete your channel at one point because it gotten low views. And
basically, my channel was in a state of depression. And between our channels, I think both of them might as well be one channel, because they're more or less in the same place. Like we half upload, but when we do upload, is still nice.
Speaking of our channels, I just want to talk about I just want to talk about some of our videos. Really, I mean, some of our old videos, stuff like that. I mean, some of our videos are like really like very just weird. I mean, if you had watched some of the old ones, then you'd know what I'm talking about.
Star Wars Battlefront Skirmish.
Yeah.
Job Simulator.
Yeah, that one without a doubt was my cringiest video that I have done so far.
There's even I think you guys can probably hear it. If not, then let me explain. We're listening to this one video I did all the way back in May of 2017. And in this video, I played the job simulator for the VR, where you could do like 1 to 4 jobs, and one of them was a convenience store.
And he decided to be a store clerk that was Jamaican in particular.
And it felt kind of racist. It didn't at the time, but it feels kind of now.
I mean, there was one part of the video in particular, like, this was a time where we thought that there were, like, so many people that are just into wrestling just consistently. But then we realized that there aren't. So then you say, hey,
who's your favorite wrestler?
Like, there was this guy that came in to restock the shelves and stuff like that, and then he says, and then the store clerk asks, who's your favorite wrestler? And then he voices the guy. He says, oh, it's Roman Reigns. And he said, and then the store clerk continues to say, no, I don't like that guy, man. And then he says, I like Kofi Kingston.
Who, mind you, is from Africa. His parents are from Africa. I'm not sure. I think he was
born in Ghana, I think, and he was raised in the America.
The almighty America, run by the Orange Simpson man, Trump.
The most powerful man on earth.
We're not gonna get too much into him. This isn't exactly that kind of podcast. But with YouTube being all in a kerfuddle, like,
I mean, YouTube is in a weird place right now, but it's entertaining. Like, I think that we, like smaller YouTubers like you and me and many other people, are the only normal people on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube is in a weird place, I want to talk of one of those weird things, which is KSI versus Logan Paul.
And then Deji versus Jake Paul.
In August. It's all happening on August 25th. The pay-per-view cost $8.
On YouTube. Is it only $8 on YouTube?
Yeah. So I just want to talk about how the whole thing started. So obviously KSI fought Joe Weller in February and beat him in the third round.
Yeah.
After that,
mind you again, Joe Weller, who I personally like as a YouTuber, he was serious about this. He trained proficiently in strength, agility, stamina, all the stuff a fighter needs, but was still beaten by KSI respectfully. But continue.
And then after the fight, he calls out Jake Paul or Logan Paul. And then after this, he proceeds to say any of the Pauls, he doesn't care. And then, so the Pauls react to this. They obviously know who KSI is. I mean, everyone does.
Yeah, he's like the most subscribed black YouTuber ever.
Yeah, he says, they use the fact that he says any of the Pauls to their advantage. So they think it's funny for some reason. And they say, oh, okay, any of the Pauls, how about you fight our dad? And then his dad calls him out, and then he said he could beat him with one hand tied behind his back.
Get this, he's a 54-year-old. I can't say he's a man. He's he produced Jake, and if someone like him is able to produce Jake and Logan, I'm assuming he's a demonic spawn of some sort.
Well, so we'll talk about how he said he could beat him with one arm later, but like after that, KSI calls them out and calls them what Drake and Logan like to say, the P word. Yeah, we're not gonna say that here, but but still, after that, so Jake Paul calls Deji and then tells him to meet him in a park in LA, and then Deji flies out there. He stays with Rice Gum and them. And then when he goes to the park, Jake Paul brings boxing gloves and challenges Deji to a fight right there. And then Deji just wanted to tell him to fight KSI because he's really just chickening out of it. And then he said he wants to fight him. And then he said, hey, but I haven't trained. I need training. And then he says, I haven't trained either. And then,
so how was sorry. How was he expecting to fight KSI?
I don't know. So after this whole kerfuddle, as the English people like to say. Deji, he actually calls out Jake Paul and challenges him to a boxing match. So after that ends up being official. And then so they decided on Jake Paul fighting Deji because they're both the younger brothers, and then KSI fighting Logan Paul because they're the older ones. And then it becomes official. Yeah, the training is intense, as I've seen on multiple videos. The press conferences are actually kind of entertaining and funny to watch.
It's more or less half entertaining, half cringy. Well, especially Jake and Deji are cringy.
I mean, so let's just talk about the press conferences real quick. Okay, so the one in LA, Shannon Briggs was the guy in the middle of it stopping them, and he's a two-time world boxing champion. If you didn't know that. So he was just there to mediate the whole thing. He's really cool and everything, but oh, Jesus Christ, what a victim he was. It's just funny to watch because he kept repeating everything he says. And then, so here we go with the part that he said was cringy. So Jake Paul notices Deji and says that he's wearing Walmart clothes. And then Deji says, no, I'm not. And then Jake Paul repeatedly says Walmart, in which the crowd repeats multiple times. And then even Logan Paul says it to KSI later. But, yeah, I honestly don't get it, because Jake Paul actually sells his clothing at Walmart, so. And, see, after that, KSI and them come out, and, the whole thing, all that really KSI had to say was really just about Logan Paul, in the Suicide Forest and stuff. And, I also want to talk about that in a minute.
You boy.
So, he brings out Toy Story aliens and stuff, and gives them to Logan, because that's the hat. He was wearing a Toy Story alien hat when he was in the forest. And, yeah, he's also referenced it a couple of times, and I honestly think that the Pauls won the first press conference. KSI and Deji, I honestly don't think that they were ready to handle it. So, after this, they had another press conference, but it was in the UK. That one was literally just last week, I think. So, so first it starts off where Jake Paul comes out, and then, Deji comes out, and then Deji starts off with literally just yelling, and then it goes, no offense to them, but their whole thing was just nonsense, really. I mean, I'm rooting for Deji and KSI. I honestly don't like the Paul brothers, and I don't see how anyone can.
Well, except for,
Little
impressionable kids. I'm just gonna say impressionable, because I'm a generally nice person.
See, so, what's funny, after this, see, I don't really want to talk about KSI, about Deji and them. It was really just hard to watch, honestly. They really didn't say much about anything. So then KSI and Logan Paul come out, and KSI is wearing a Logan Paul wig that he had at the first press conference. I didn't bring that up, but he did. Yeah, he does his thing out there, and then he talks about his girlfriend, says that she's a hooker, stuff like that, and after this, KSI then and starts chants about them. And then the whole thing was really just Logan Paul just suffering. Really. I mean, and then after this, Logan Paul actually left the press conference early, right before they could answer any questions. I honestly don't think that they were ready for it. So, yeah. KSI and Deji won the press conference, in my opinion. So, yeah, now we have fight predictions. Who do you think's gonna win in August? So first we're going to talk KSI versus Logan Paul, because I know that that's a...
KSI easily. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe.
I won't say easily, because Logan Paul does have some attributes on KSI. He has the height advantage, the weight advantage, the reach, stuff like that. But KSI is actually already a trained boxer. He's had a fight before. He knows how boxing works and everything. He's been training for a year, I think? Yeah. Since last August, actually. And really, it's just going to honestly end. I'm going to have to say KSI third round knockout.
I'm going to have to say, how long... The rounds in boxing are the same thing as rounds in UFC, right? Or in MMA?
Well, their rounds last... They have 6 3-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
In the main event and co-main event. I honestly don't know all of the undercard fights yet, but we'll have to look into that. So, yeah, let's predict.
I'm gonna have to say KSI, either first or second round. I refuse to believe this. Logan Paul of all people. I swear, if Logan Paul can last 3 rounds with KSI, then literally anything is possible. Yeah, but easily KSI though.
So now we've got to predict KSI. No, I'm sorry. Jake Paul versus Deji. I'm going to have to say...
No, you see, I'm not gonna completely throw Logan Paul under the bus as much as I hate him, but,
Jake Paul?
I mean, yeah, I can still believe that Logan Paul can fight in the slightest. I can give him about a 30% chance over KSI. But, I'm going to have to say that it's, I'm gonna have to say. Sorry, I'm kind of lost for words. Compared to Logan Paul, Jake Paul ain't got nothing. Just gonna say, hey, just plain and simple like that. Like if Jake Paul can beat Deji, then I don't know. I just don't know anymore.
So I know that Deji and Jake Paul have been going through cardio and stuff. And if their cardio can handle... If Deji's cardio can hold up, then I honestly think that he just has to move around, evade his punches and stuff like that. Evade around the ring. So my prediction is, if both of them are able to go the distance, I'm saying Deji wins on the 6th round. Wins on the 6th round. Well, not on the 6th round, but Deji wins by referee decision in the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that as well. You know, if Deji can last. I'm not trying to do it.
Can go the distance.
Yeah. And, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about one last thing, and this is, the last thing we gotta talk about. Let's talk about, dang,
yeah, we're skipping my thing, I guess.
What?
The, Suicide Forest. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we can talk about the Suicide Forest. We can talk about that on your podcast.
Yeah.
Check out Batvader 1's podcast. It's coming soon. Not exactly sure when, but
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow then.
It's gonna come on every Friday and Saturday. But the first episode's going to be tomorrow on Saturday. So, yeah.
But,
don't miss it.
Last thing I want to talk about is, what's gonna have to happen next on my channel. Next on my channel, I will upload the last parts of A Way Out, because I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah.
I have like at least a few hours worth of recordings for that. And so I will upload that. One other thing is that we recently went to Atlanta Comic Con,
Yeah.
which is
Pretty awesome.
which is actually pretty cool, considering we haven't been to Comic Con since 2014.
Yeah. Was it 2013?
2013 or 14.
Yeah.
And basically, when we went there, we saw a giant Optimus Prime. We saw some cosplayers for Kylo Ren, Darth Revan,
Pennywise.
a few other people. And we got to get a couple action figures. I got an action figure for Tugboat. In case you don't know, that's the Shockmaster / Typhoon.
Tugboat. I got a Funko Pop figure for The Rock. And actually, he got to do something really cool.
I got to they have like a series of actors and voice actors in the back. I wish I got to do more of this, but in the back they had certain voice actors, like they had the person who plays Fry in Zoidberg and Futurama. They had the Red Ranger, Darth Maul's choreographer, and they have Mario / Luigi and quite a few other people. But they also have but the one person I did get to meet was Squidward's voice actor from SpongeBob, whose name is Roger Bumpass.
Bumpus.
Bumpus like compass.
Bumpus.
Wait, hold on a minute.
It's Bumpus. It may be spelled like that, but it's pronounced Bumpus.
What? Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay, and I got a signed autograph for $25. I don't see why it's $25, but it's slightly worth it, I guess. And while meeting him, I did get to ask him this one question, which is something commonly known among anyone who's ever watched SpongeBob. Why is it? I asked him that has he and the guy who ever played SpongeBob, Tom Kenny, or any of the developers noticed that SpongeBob isn't exactly as good as it used to be in the episodes back then, where the episodes they're kind of better than the episodes now. He basically tells me that like any TV show, like The Simpsons, Family Guy, or any other kind of TV show, that every TV show has their run of ups and downs, and then their seasons kind of begin to grow stale, but the animators kind of begin to recognize those problems, and then they fix it as the seasons go along. Which is, it sounds kind of cliche when he says it, but according to a couple of people, I actually heard SpongeBob is a tad bit better nowadays.
Wait, it is?
Yeah, apparently so.
Huh?
Apparently so.
That's unbelievable.
Some of the worst episodes of SpongeBob happened like in season 6, 5, and 7.
I mean, my favorite episodes were in season 1 through 3 and stuff like that, but honestly,
apparently they're like season 8, 9, and 10, and apparently those can actually mirror the ones in season 1 and 2 and 3.
I don't believe you. Honestly.
Or maybe he was just trying to maybe he was just speaking up for his employers and make sure he doesn't get them out of business because of low ratings. But I hope you guys enjoy listening to us. Next week we'll talk about something else interesting. Not sure what yet. Please tune in next time. I hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. If you do, show some support by liking the video, subscribing to my channel.
Check out my channel as well.
Checking out Batvader's channel and his podcast coming soon.
New podcast coming out tomorrow.
And, of course, comment. Tell me what you do. I know half of you people don't do that. You know, I know I hear people in the comments going, hey, I can get you more subscribers. You know, those people don't exactly do much for me.
I remember
No offense to them.
I remember there was this one guy, he actually commented on my video. He said, hey, I really like your content. If you subscribe to, well, I won't disclose his name here because he's a complete lie, but he says if you subscribe to this person, then he may give you a shout out in his next video, and it may get you more subscribers. See, quote unquote may. That's a big thing, but still, he said I subscribed to him, and then he never really did anything, and then I unsubscribed to him, but then. I don't remember what video it was. I think it was like Infinite Warfare or something like that. You said that that there was another guy who told you to subscribe to this one guy, and I was like, oh, that's exactly what that other dude told me. He told me the same channel as well.
Yeah, and I sometimes kind of receive weird comments, but sometimes comments can lead to good things. Like there's this one guy who recently commented on one of my videos. Where he's this guy. His channel's name is Rusev Day. You guys should check him out. Basically, it's these two kids who do wrestling moves, just like the people on TV, and they do it based off of the matches that happen on Raw and SmackDown and NXT of that week.
I haven't seen it, but he tells me that they do like these unbelievable moves. Like they do them like I don't know what they do, but like it's apparently really good.
And there are some spam people I get, like there's this one person, I'm not gonna disclose her name, but apparently she didn't like my video, but she says, hey BT1031, follow me on Instagram. Like, who are you? Like, you don't even show me any support in your video. It's like if I just went on my phone one day after waking up, then I say, hey, I need more followers on Instagram. Yeah, do that for me. But please don't be like those spam monkeys people.
Monkeys.
But please show us some support. Let me know if you guys liked it. Let me know if you have any other kind of topics relating to wrestling or YouTube you want us to talk about, and we'll do it for you. But I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of this BT Talks podcast, and I'll see you next time.
See ya.